Hi, this is Dave, Fell Running Guide. Welcome to another navigation task. This week I'm asking you about a particular symbol on this Harvey's Superwalker map. I'm using this extract with permission from Harvey's under a licensing agreement. So what I want to know is, what is this feature shown here, this dashed contour line? So this is probably one that you either know or you don't. Orienteers might know it because it's common on orienteering maps. On the 1 to 25,000 maps, you'll only see it on a Harvey's map, so you don't see it on Ordnance Survey. So what is that? Well, it's called an auxiliary contour, and I've got a definition or an explanation of what it is from Harvey's themselves, and they say the auxiliary contours are added to show features missed by standard contour lines, Knolls being a typical example. They're approximately halfway in height between the contour lines. However, the photogrammetrist may adjust this slightly to show the shape of the ground to best effect. So this big word here, let's call that a photographic surveyor, I think is the way of describing that. So basically, these are additional contour lines put on to in certain situations to show features that are missed by the standard contour lines. Now these contours on the Harvey map are at 15-meter intervals, so the vertical height difference between this index contour and the next standard contour up is 15 meters. So that just tells us that the ground along this contour line is 15 meters lower than that. It doesn't really tell us anything about the shape of the ground in between. Now on Ordnance Survey maps, they're 10-meter intervals, so you might get a little bit more of an idea of the shape of the ground with that, but with 15-meter contours, there's a lot of sort of ground in there that is open to interpretation in terms of its shape. So here the surveyors deliberately put an additional contour line in because there's something going on with the shape of the ground between these two contours. In the real world, it isn't going down in a uniform slope. It's going down, and then just before the index contour, it's getting steeper. So there's a definite steepening in here. Now, if the auxiliary contour wasn't there, we wouldn't know that. We'd just think, oh, it's just going down at the same angle. So we can have a look at a photograph to try and help explain that. Now, this is a photograph of that very area. We can see here we've got a little ridge sticking out, and you can imagine walking down to that from above. You'd come down at one angle, and then above it the ground would flatten off, and then you'd actually go over the edge and it would steepen up again there, and then sort of flatten a little bit and then steeper again there. So look at this particular area of ground here, and we'll go back to the map. So that photograph that we were looking at was actually looking from below. If you saw last week's navigation task, over here from Littlemore, looking directly up at that, and we were looking up at that little steepening there. So you can see how, as we were looking at it, it wasn't a uniform slope up, it was steepening slightly there. So that is the answer. That's what an auxiliary contour is. You can see there's some more on here. We've got another one there. So that would indicate that there's a slight knoll there that's not high enough to warrant another contour line. And also around Marjorie Hill here, you can see we've got this auxiliary contour line going along there. So that point there is probably approximately half the height between that contour line and that one. So that's your answer. Thanks for watching this week. I hope you learnt something from that. They're slightly unusual. Look out for next week's navigation task. Bye for now.